going to make a cassoulet. The original recipe is from the southwest of France, and it is a very hearty white bean stew. It's definitely a main event. And we're going to be making it here. It's got some very simple ingredients. I'm going to start with onions and carrots, and I'm sauteing them in some white wine. I don't like to use oil, and sometimes I saute in water, but this time I'm going to be sauteing in a little white wine, just enough to coat the surface. And I'm putting in about 3 chopped onions or 2 large chopped onions. I like to use a coarse chop because this is a very rustic dish. I'm going to add some carrots. I'm also going to add some fresh minced garlic and something that I really love, herbe de Provence. And I like to use about 3 tablespoons. Herbe de Provence is a collection of herbs that you find in the south of France, in the Provence region. It's a mixture of thyme, rosemary, basil, savory, tarragon, and lavender. And it's great to cook with these herbs. And so I'm going to let this cook for about 10 minutes, covered, and then we will add the other ingredients. The vegetables are just about done. You want to make sure that the onions are soft, translucent, and the carrots are also cooked rather soft. It's important to get these done because the rest of it cooks very quickly. Okay, now I'm going to add the white beans. This is a very small bean. It's also called a navy bean, and they're cooked. I've already cooked them, which means I've soaked them overnight and rinsed them after soaking, and then cooked them until they were soft. Then I rinsed them again before putting them in this dish. You can also use canned beans. I really prefer to use them from dry. They're less expensive that way, and you also know that they've been made the way you like them. I'm mixing the beans with the onions and the carrots, and you can really add all the ingredients. I've got about a cup of canned tomatoes, and I like to add some Dijon mustard. This is 3 tablespoons. The recipe for this cassoulet is on our website, responsibleeatingandliving.com. Now, I'm going to mix this up, and you can let this cook for a little while just to blend all the ingredients together. And it can be done just like that. But if you want to make it like a cassoulet, it's traditionally made with pork sausage, lamb. Depends on the region that the cassoulet is made, what kind of meats they use, duck or goose. And so I like to use a variety of different meat substitutes, and especially if I'm making this dish for people who aren't vegetarian or vegan, I like to add these things because they really like the dish better with them. And there's a variety of different meat substitutes that you can use. So what I have here are some vegetarian sausages and baked tofu. You can use plain tofu or plain tempeh or tempeh bacon. There are so many different meat substitutes out there on the market, and some of them are very simple, like tofu and tempeh. They are not very processed. And then there are some that have more flavorings in them and more textures that are similar to meat. And there are so many choices out there that you could use whatever you like. So I like to add that to the mix and then let everything cook for a while. People love this dish. I guarantee if you bring it to a dinner party or a potluck or serve it up for Thanksgiving or any other special autumn or winter event, it will be a huge success. This is so tasty.